Living alone as you get older is often shown as peaceful and freeing. You can do things on your own time, follow your own rules, and enjoy the quiet. And while that can be true, there's another side to the story that doesn't get talked about much. Things you only discover once you're living it. This video brings together real insights shared by people across forums and communities. These aren't just my thoughts, but collective wisdom from those who've experienced it firsthand. It's not all negative, but it is honest. So let's talk about the parts of aging alone that no one prepares you for, and how you can make the most of it. 1. When you live alone, you are the backup plan. One of the biggest wake-up calls about aging solo is realizing you're the only one there if something goes wrong. There's no one nearby to notice if you need help. Many people have shared stories about falls or accidents where they weren't found for hours or even days. One person mentioned they started carrying their phone everywhere, even into the shower. It might seem extreme, but it's smart. A medical alert bracelet or smartwatch can bring peace of mind, especially if you live far from others. I remember reading about a woman who installed a lockbox with a spare key outside her house. That way, trusted family or friends could get in during an emergency without damaging the door. 2. Even introverts can feel lonely. Living alone sounds perfect for introverts, and in many ways it is. But even people who enjoy solitude can feel isolated as they get older. Over time, social circles shrink, friends move, retire, or pass away, and meeting new people gets harder. One man on a forum said he could go days without speaking to anyone. He valued his space, but missed the small, everyday conversations. A common solution? Pets. They add routine, comfort, and company. As one woman shared, "My dog doesn't talk, but he's always there when I walk through the door, and that matters more than I expected." 3. Housework becomes harder than you think. Maintaining a home on your own gets tougher with age. Energy levels dip, and tasks that were once simple, like mowing the lawn or vacuuming, start to wear you out. Plenty of people shared how they had growing to-do lists, but couldn't find the strength to keep up. One woman admitted she kept pushing chores off, not because she didn't care, but because it was just too much alone. Hiring help for bigger jobs or asking family to pitch in occasionally can ease the load. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, downsizing might be a wise move. A smaller space means less work and more freedom to enjoy your time. 4. Routines become anchors, and that's a good thing. One theme that popped up in many stories is how powerful a daily routine can be when you live alone. Without a partner or housemate to create structure, your habits become your guide. Morning coffee, afternoon walks, evening shows. These little rituals give purpose to your day. A woman in her 70s shared how she starts every morning by playing her favorite song while cooking breakfast. Another man found peace in watering his plants each evening, not just for the garden, but for the sense of rhythm it gave him. There's no shame in valuing your routine. In fact, it can be the best part of your day. These moments are yours, and they bring comfort and control to a quiet home. 5. Cooking for one takes practice, but it's worth it. Cooking for yourself can be trickier than people expect. There's no need to make big meals, and it often feels like too much work for just one plate. Many older adults say they fall into the habit of eating frozen meals or takeout simply because it's easier. But one woman wrote that when she started enjoying the process of cooking for herself, everything changed. "It became less about the food," she said, "and more about showing myself care." Try batch cooking or preparing simple meals that last a few days. Some people turn it into a hobby, experimenting with recipes or setting the table just for themselves. It's not just about eating. It's about reminding yourself that you're worth the effort. 6. The silence can feel both peaceful and heavy. Quiet is something many people don't expect to affect them, But when you're used to a busy home or a long career, the stillness can be jarring. Evenings feel especially quiet. One woman mentioned she leaves the radio on while cleaning. And a man said he plays podcasts to fill the silence with familiar voices. Audiobooks, TV, or music can help bring warmth to your space. Still, silence isn't always bad. For many, it becomes a gift, a chance to think, breathe, and be present. After decades of noise and chaos, the quiet becomes a space for reflection. 7. You have to be intentional about staying active. When you're living alone, especially in later years, it's easy to become less physically active. Without someone around to suggest going for a walk or joining an activity, the days can quickly become more sedentary. Many people have shared how, over time, they noticed their strength fading. One man said he stopped going on his daily walks and spent more time sitting. "I didn't notice how inactive I'd become until I started feeling stiff and tired," he wrote. Staying active takes real effort when it's just you, but it's doable. Set simple goals like taking a short walk, doing a little stretching in the morning, or joining a gentle fitness class made for older adults. Even small movement each day adds up. A woman shared that she adopted a dog to help with this. "He needs to walk, which means I do too," she said. Staying active doesn't have to mean hitting the gym. It can be as simple as dancing around the house, pulling weeds in the yard, or walking to the mailbox. Movement lifts your spirits, clears your mind, and keeps your body stronger. 8. Time feels different, and that's something to manage. Living alone can shift how you experience time. Without someone else's schedule around, days can start to blur together. You might lose track of whether it's Tuesday or Saturday. One man wrote that after retiring and losing his spouse, the days sometimes felt like they dragged or disappeared too fast. "You don't have the same markers anymore," he explained. "No school pickups, no dinner conversations. Just open time." But there are ways to build structure again. Some folks create light routines, maybe grocery shopping every Monday, doing laundry on Fridays, or calling a friend each Wednesday. Others create rituals, like working in the garden at the same time each day, or cooking something special every Sunday. You don't have to rigidly schedule your time, but giving some rhythm to your days can help you feel more centered. When you live alone, you have the power to design your days around what you love, and that freedom is a real gift. 9. Decluttering is both easier and more emotional. When it's just you at home, letting go of clutter can feel simpler and harder at the same time. On the one hand, no one else is there to object to what stays or goes. On the other, everything you own carries meaning. One woman said she kept things she didn't need because they reminded her of someone or a special moment. "It's just me, so why not keep them?" she asked. "But then I wonder, do I really want someone else to have to sort through all this someday?" Many people find that it's not about the stuff itself, it's about the memories tied to it. Sorting through it all takes patience and emotional energy, but it can also bring peace. One man in his late 60s wrote about how simplifying his home brought relief. "It felt good knowing my space was manageable and that my kids wouldn't be overwhelmed someday." Decluttering isn't about living with less. It's about keeping what matters most now. Go room by room, shelf by shelf, and let yourself feel whatever comes up. This is your space. Shape it to reflect who you are today. 10. Social invitations might slow down, so you create the fun. Something that surprises many older adults is how social invites begin to taper off. Not because people don't care, but life gets busy, friends move, or people simply assume you're doing fine on your own. A few people said they started noticing fewer calls or get-togethers. One woman said, "I used to wait for the phone to ring. Now I pick it up and make the call myself. And that shift makes all the difference. Don't wait to be invited. Take the lead. Plan coffee with a neighbor. Start a book club. Host a small dinner. When you organize the fun, you get to shape it in ways that feel good to you. A man in his 60s shared how he created a local walking group that meets weekly. I get to connect with others and stay active. It's a win-win, he said. Living alone means you can build the social life you want. Love movies? Host a movie night. Enjoy crafting? Invite others to join in. When you reach out, others will often respond warmly. 11. Self-care can slip, but it's vital. When no one's around to notice, it's easy to let self-care fall by the wayside. Maybe you stay in pajamas all day. Maybe you skip real meals and snack instead. There's no one there to ask, "Are you okay?" People in forums often say the same thing. I stopped putting in effort because I didn't feel like it mattered. But the truth is, it does matter. You matter. One man said he went through a period of skipping meals, skipping showers, and sitting on the couch all day. Eventually, I had to remind myself I'm worth taking care of. Self-care isn't just about hygiene or food. It's about protecting your emotional health. That means seeing your doctor, sleeping well, moving a little, and doing things you enjoy. Whether it's music, fresh flowers, or a new outfit, these small acts of care can change your mood. One woman wrote about how she lights candles and puts on a face mask every Sunday. "It's just for me," she said, "and it makes me feel cared for." You don't need a reason to take care of yourself. You deserve the best care, especially from yourself. Living alone later in life has its ups and downs, but it can also be one of the most rewarding chapters. You get to decide what your days look like, and that's a powerful thing. Just remember, you don't have to do it all alone. Ask for help when needed. Plan ahead. Reach out. And above all, be kind to yourself. You've already come a long way, and there's still more to experience. Fill your space with what brings you peace, whether it's a pet, a favorite song, or a cozy chair. And on the hard days, remind yourself, you're not alone in this journey. There are so many others walking this road too. We'd love to hear your story. Share something from your own experience in the comments. And if this video helped you in any way, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss our next one. Thanks so much for being here.